Hello again, I'm on the canal and I'm live baiting for perch. It's a new stretch and I'm not sure whether there will be any pike in. Inevitably there will be maybe one or two, but it's certainly not a pike stretch at all. And so I'm starting off with what I would consider to be a basic perch rig. I'm fishing a small 5 gram pike bob, which you can see there, and then I've got a swivel, and I'm actually fishing quicksilver. So I'm not fishing a wire trace, and I'll talk more about that, or write more about that should I say, in the article that accompanies this video, because it is a dilemma when you are perch fishing as to how far do you step up your gear if there are pike around. But at this moment in time, it's a new stretch, I'm not sure that there are any pike, or certainly pike of any quantity in here. I'm actually fishing a size 4. It's a Drennan super specialist hook, and I've got some power gum which has set the float about 3 feet. So I'm going to give it a go. Got to catch a live bait first and then put that on and see what the perch potential is in this stretch. I'm coming to the end of the session now. It's been very good in some ways, because I've had 3 runs from fish which I am absolutely convinced were perch, but in other ways it hasn't been so good because I didn't actually connect with any of them. I had hook pulls on all 3. In fact, 2 of the pulls I left the bait in, and immediately there was another run as well which I also missed on 2 occasions. So that's 5 bites of the cherry and no fruit to show for it. It's also been frustrating because I had a small gudgeon early on which I used for all of those fish, but as the session wore on, obviously the fish became quite battle weary, and I really desperately wanted to catch another small gudgeon, which I'm fishing still now on my float rod, but didn't catch anything at all apart from one big gudgeon which was too big for perch. But I'm going home now. I've done 3 hours and I've got some work to do this afternoon, and rather than be discouraged by the lack of fish, I'm actually motivated to come back tomorrow. It's been a very cold day. Got up this morning. In fact, I should have been here earlier. If I was Mr. Clumsy last week, kicked my thermometer in the canal. I'm Mr. Forgetful this one, because I left my all-in-one suit at home, and in temperatures of -1, -2, you need your suit. So I had to go back home. Then I waited for the traffic to die down. So I was mid-morning by the time I got here. But I've got some work to do this afternoon and into evening at home, and I shall be up nice and early with the lark in the morning, get back on this canal and hopefully catch a gudgeon early on. I should be saying my prayers tonight. Catch a gudgeon early on and then see if I can catch a perch. But at the end of the day, I've enjoyed it, and that's what angling is all about. Cheers. Hello again. I'm fishing, that's why I'm looking straight ahead and not always at the camera. I went back to the place where I had the runs from the perch, and the frustrating thing was I struggled to catch gudgeon. So for most of the time the live bait rod wasn't even out. So it's towards the end of the week now, and I'm back on another section of the canal where I have fished before and caught perch and gudgeon as well. Perhaps more importantly, I think sometimes we can forget this time of the year how difficult it is to catch even small fish. And I'm back. I've had quite a number of gudgeon this morning, a skimmer bream, a couple of roach and perch on the maggot rod. But more importantly, what I'm really after, I've had a perch on the live bait rod as well. Only a small one, as you can see from the photograph that was on the screen. Oh, got a bite there, missed it on the maggot rod. But I'm quite pleased just to catch that fish certainly for this time of the year. We have to be very thankful for what we can get. But I have got another session, and so I'm hoping to actually catch something more decent or better than the one I've had. Well, we never know, do we? Let's see how it goes. This is the last session of the week. It's actually the last hour of the last session, and I just caught the perch that you saw on the screen. So a nice fish, and it's great when it comes together, isn't it? I've had a very difficult week, struggled in many ways. The weather has not been good at all. In fact, my brolly's flapping around now. You may see that on the camera. It's been raining as well. I've got my radio with me that I often listen to when I'm out fishing, quiet of course, but it's just said on the news that this is the coldest winter for 13 years, so I could appreciate that, having fished through December and January. This will be my last session of January, and we've just got February to go then. I'm fishing at the moment, which is why I'm not constantly looking at the camera, but I'm looking out there. Got my live bait rod, which is where I caught the perch, so I was really pleased with that. I thought it was a perch quite some distance out, about 2 or 3 lengths out, and I was bringing it in and praying really that it wouldn't come off, particularly at this late stage. And it's Friday afternoon, and I published my Angling Journal article on Saturday morning, so this really was last chance saloon. I've also got a maggot rod out there as well, small waggler float, caught gudgeon and small roach. But whatever happens in the next half an hour or so now, then that's fine, because I've got my perch. And sometimes, particularly at this time of the year, it might just be one fish that you're fishing for.